All right, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog, everybody. It's good to see you all again. This channel's been growing again faster than I had ever anticipated it. Today we're going to be talking about some really heavy stuff. So there's going to be some swearing. So if you're not down with swearing, you might want to check out. We're also going to be talking about some SA topics. So if SA stuff doesn't work for you, you want to check out. If you're triggered by that stuff, I get it. But yeah, today's going to be kind of a really, really heavy episode, and I apologize in advance for that. But I have a story to tell you before we get in to the reason why we're diving deep, I guess, today. But before I get into this story, let's check out the shirt. The shirt du jour, the shirt du jour. So here we have it. This is my recent, not recent, but the current design. It's Ally Decent Fucking Human. The decent fucking human part is made a little bit family friendly. Need to give credit to my wife Lisa for designing the idea behind this. We volunteered at Pride Rally in Salt Lake this last year, and so she came up with this concept, and I just went and created the design. So the links for this shirt will be in the description below, as well as my other shirts. You can check those out. So go and click on the link, buy yourself a shirt, support the channel, and also be an ally of your friends. So anyway, all right. So story time. All right. So as you can see by the thumbnail, this is some crazy shit. So let me back up. All right. So two days ago, 2 days ago, I substituted a third grade elementary school class, and so in substituting this class, I was just like, so. It was weird because all sorts of just weird memories and emotions, feelings came rushing back. And so all these weird shit just kept going through my head and everything. I was like, what is going on with these thoughts and with these memories and everything? Like, these memories are just like really vivid, really specific, like flash in the pan memories and everything. And so that's kind of what sparked me to make this video today. But let me back up, 43 years ago to 1980, 1981, where I'm 9 years old, thereabouts. And in my third grade class, the teacher was Mr. Reno, his real name, this motherfucker. His real name is David Keith Orino. And so turns out that he's my third grade teacher. He's also in my ward, lives in my neighborhood, and he's like my Sunday school teacher at the time, or so Sunday school teacher, and so spending a lot of time around this guy, and he would always have this manner about him where he was the cool guy, first of all. So he was the cool guy. And he would, sit next to me. He would put his arm around me like this, and he's like, like rubbing my shoulder, caressing my shoulder, and all this kind of bullshit and everything. And so that happened like on a regular occasion, like not only in like Sunday school during like singing time, but he had like, video parties at his house, and sitting on the couch, he would do the same thing. And all that. And so, but the really weird and fucked up thing is that, so he was like the cool guy to hang around with, and everybody like vied for his attention. And so like the kids would be like, well, let's go hang out at Dave's house, let's go hang out at Mr. Reno's house and everything. And he was like the cool guy to be around. He he had video game, like the Atari 800, I think, is because my family had an Atari 800 back in the day. And so he had like all these games, and we would go to his house and like, copy his games so we can play them at our house and everything. And so he would loan to us also movies on VHS and all this kind of stuff, just being the cool guy and stuff. And so all these and so like all the cool kids hung out at his house and around him all the time, and they would go to the hockey games and everything, and he was like, famous in the area for taking kids to hockey games and just all sorts of things like that, being just like, every parent thought he was like the coolest guy ever, and the kids, adored him and all this and stuff, and he gave us pet names and everything, and my pet name was Bunny Rabbit. I'm like, I don't even know how the fuck that came around, being Bunny Rabbit. But that was his pet name for me. I don't know, but he had pet names for other kids as well. He had like this T-shirt created. This was like after Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, I think, came around this same time period, and Yoda was popular, and he had like this T-shirt called Orino's Raiders. I'll put a photo here on the screen so you can kind of get an idea of what it looked like. And so he would like, sell as a school project or whatever these Orino's Raiders T-shirts, all this kind of stuff. So he was just like, always the cool kid or the cool guy, and everybody wanted to be around him and everything. And kids vied to be in his attention and stuff. And that's just kind of how it was back in 1980, 1981. So, fast forward a couple of years, and then he's arrested at school for, child abuse, child SA abuse. And so that's when it came out that he's been like abusing these kids, for, I guess it's been going on for a few years is what I remember or whatever. And so, naturally the parents are losing their minds and freaking out and everything. And people had asked me like, well, did he do anything to you? I'm like, well, no, he didn't do anything to me. And that's, just kind of just the way that I thought of the whole scenario and stuff. And so that's just basically the way that the story played in my mind, is he didn't do anything to me. And I was one of the lucky ones and everything. And so fast forward another, 43 years, and I'm in this third grade class, and I'm hanging out with these kids and everything, and they're like 9 years old-ish in that area and stuff. And then suddenly all these flashes start going through my mind, like these memories, like very vivid memories. I'm like of like being in Dave's house and being around Dave, and the smells. His basement smelled like a very specific type of cologne. I don't know what the cologne is, but I still remember it had a very specific smell. I remember like just all the little nuanced things that he did and everything, and like the rubbing of the shoulder and the pet names and all this bullshit. And so anyway, it's just like I almost had like a panic attack. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is this coming back? I don't understand why these memories, these feelings are coming through. And I'm like, I don't get it. And then, finally, my brain put shit together. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. That motherfucker was grooming you. That motherfucker was grooming me. And I'm like, holy shit. I never really actually put those pieces together that's what his intentions were. And I'm over here as a kid being jealous of my friends getting to have all this time with this motherfucker. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh. So finally my brain put the pieces together 43 years later that he was grooming me the whole time. And I'm like, whoa, it was really kind of, a worlds colliding thing in my brain. And I was like, for the last couple of days since this happened 2 days ago, I've just been like working it over in my brain and mulling it over and kind of putting puzzle pieces together and just, lots of music therapy. When I get in these types of ways, then music really, really does it for me. And so I've been like playing like these, Roxette is, basically Roxette and T-Paw have been basically on play in my head and in my speakers and my headphones nonstop for the last 2 days. And something about those songs, but I don't know. I mean, music heals people, so I don't know why my brain stopped on Roxette and T-pop, but they did, and so I mean, that's just been on continuous play for me, and it's part of the healing process, But it's just so just overwhelming, just crazy that I never put it together that I was being groomed the entire time. And I've just been always like, you didn't do anything to me. My friends, my classmates, those poor people. My gosh, fuck, I feel sorry for them. I feel so bad for them. Their lives are ruined, and so I just, I'm just like, what do I do about this? I mean, I could go to counseling, I could do that, but I'm just like, counselors, I just never had a really good relationship with counselors and stuff. And so I'm talking to you people. Talking to you people about this. You guys are the first ones to hear this actually come out of my mouth, that I was actually groomed by this fucker. And so in processing all this information, I decided to Google him. Oh yeah. Let me back up. He was arrested in class, and he ended up spending about 16 years in prison for it, from what I remember, about 16 years. And somewhere in the mid 90s, I was back at my home ward that I grew up in, and he was attending church, and he sat behind me, and I remember saying hi to him and everything. So I remember that. That was in the mid 90s. So anyway, now just after this mind fuck incident of 2 days ago, and putting these puzzle pieces together, I decided to Google his name and type in David Keith Orino, Utah, and comes up his obituary that he moved to Ohio, and he died in 2015. So motherfucker's dead. That's good. And so anyway, I just decided that the only way, I mean, talking is probably the only thing and best thing that I could do at this point. Brain still putting puzzle pieces together and figuring shit out, and still just like coming to the oh shit moment that, like, fuck, I was groomed the whole time and I didn't even see it until 43 years later. And I'm like, how did I not see that? I mean, I guess I must have taken one massive dose of fucking Repressidol or something that worked for 43 years until I, teaching this third grade class as a substitute. And the PTSD kicked in, I guess, and the Repressidol wore off, and like, holy shit, all this came back triggered in a massive way. And I'm like, so crazy. So let's see, I wrote some notes down here. Let me see if I covered everything I wanted to talk about. In a nutshell, that's what happened 43 years ago, that my brain had, I guess, repressed the severity of what was going on. And the story my brain told itself for 43 years is that I was not a victim of this douchebag. And that story played for 43 years until finally the trigger was triggered and my brain started putting shit together that made actual sense, and realized that, like, yeah, fuck, you were being groomed, and like, thank God that I escaped with only being groomed and nothing worse. I don't know, I mean, that's just the way my brain thinks. And but just the fact of realizing that I was actually one of his victims, and he intended to do additional things, I'm certain, because that's what he was, going towards. Anyway, that's fucked up, man. Seriously fucked up shit. So, sorry to, trauma vomit on all y'all, but that shit was on my mind for the last 2 days. Just round and round and round, and trying to just figure that shit out. So, I guess it did take 43 years, but I figured it out. Now I get to process this brand new realization, get to process that, and figure some shit out again. Love it. Fucking love life. Really though, but life is actually going really well for me right now. Many of you know I got some really good news recently. The documentary that I completed back in May called The Salt Lake Strip. I submitted it to a video or a film distribution service called Film Hub. That's what it's called. Film Hub is the film distribution service, and it's being distributed worldwide, and it's on YouTube for free. I mean, you can go check it out for free on YouTube if you want, but got a notification that Amazon Prime just picked it up, and it's being submitted to all sorts of other streaming services. So coming to a TV near you, my latest documentary called The Salt Lake Strip, coming at you. So yeah, I know that this is a really fucked up and heavy topic. Sorry about that again. I would say hit the like button, but this is not a subject to like. So to move this towards the upper part of the Google algorithm, hit the thumbs up button so that the algorithm will see that this is an important subject that needs to be talked about. Make your comments below. I'd be glad to hear what you all have to say about this situation. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate subscriptions. Channel's growing faster than I ever thought, like I've said before. But yeah, holy shit, this is some heavy stuff. But I'm glad that I have this platform that I could talk about it. And, you know, I think that, you know, I think there needs to be a hashtag Me Too movement for men as well. So I'll put that hashtag Me Too in the comments. Anyway, yeah, hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe, and hopefully I will see you guys soon later with a little bit more lighthearted content than this shit. But also click the link below, buy a t-shirt, supports the channel. And all right, take care guys, have a good one.